Hello, everybody, and welcome. And ooh, that was quick. It went to that real fast today. Okay, just looking at our iPad, how we monitor this, and see it went real fast to it. Usually takes a lot longer, so real fast to okay, it. I don't want that anymore. So, anyways, hello everybody, and I see we've got lots of people right off the bat here. Yeah, you put drugs in the title, you'll attract people all the time. So who's here? Melissa. She's Drugs and Doctors. This should be a good one. Yeah, if we get there.
Yeah, who knows?
You know, we always have a suggested topic, but yeah, we may get there, we may not. Donna's here. Hi, Donna and Pace and Barb and Russ, of course. Just say no to drugs. And Inez from Newfoundland, and Colleen from Charlottetown, and Jan from Ottawa area, and Mona and Monkey Man from New Hampshire, and Karen B, who lives close to us. She's in our neck of the woods. Let's see. Heather is here, and Brenda's here from sunny Vancouver.
She the lady that approached me at the quilt show?
Who?
Karen B.
No, that wasn't Karen.
Oh, okay.
No. That was, I forget what her name was, but that was a different lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Melissa, Charlotte's here. Melissa is here. Suzanne is here. Carrie, Judy, Tamela, or Tamela. Sorry, not Tamela. Tamela. The other Melissa is here. Sue is here, and Karen B says, I try not to be creepy. How's that working for you? But anyways, so yeah, I'm sure a few more people will probably be joining us as time goes on. So this is the long weekend here in Canada. So happy long weekend to all the Canadians that are on here. It is our unofficial start of summer, the May 2-4 weekend. And I think as I was describing for some people the other day, May 24th, we call it May 2-4, is traditionally the weekend when people start to go up, open up their cottages, if they're not winterized, kind of a thing, go out, get their plants and plant them and do all that kind of stuff. And so you'll probably wonder then, why do we call it the May 2-4 if it's on May the 24th and this isn't May the 24th? It's because that is the official date of Queen Victoria, her birthday. And so way back some time ago, back in the Victorian ages, I guess, when Canada was nothing more than just a glimmer in somebody's eye, when we're just a little tiny dominion in a colony of Great Britain, they decided to, one of the things to honor the Queen on her birthday was to have a national holiday on May the 24th. But the way it works out is they've changed the rule to how do they decide when it will be. And it has to be on the first weekend before, not after, the actual 24th of May. So the 24th of May this year falls on Friday coming up. So that means this weekend, because it's the weekend before the 24th of May, is the long weekend. Okay, do I need to draw a diagram for that one? And I guess next weekend is a long weekend for the Americans, and it's the Memorial holiday. And I asked yesterday about that, if that had to do with the military and that, and it is. That's actually supposed to be when they honor people in the military service for that. So we do have Remembrance Day in November, and I believe the Americans have something equivalent to that. I don't think you call it a Remembrance Day.
Veterans Day?
Veterans Day, yeah, Veterans Day, that's what it is. But you do it twice in a year. We only do it once. So yeah, so there you go. A little mini education on a comparison of holidays, the summer holidays and others between our two countries. So anybody else popped in here? Elsa's here, Faith is here, Patsy is here, Joan is here. Yes, all is well, Joan, sort of. There's a couple of things that aren't so well that just kind of happened today, but we'll talk about those, but they're nothing major. Philippa's here. Hi, Philippa. Okay, so do you have anything to show us?
No. I
No,
don't.
because
I'm still
Walter's.
working on the shirt, but I've been doing other things.
Yes.
Like I've been
Like what?
planting plants in the backyard, on our patio, and I actually dug
Babysitting
up
your
part of the
grass.
garden, and I planted. I was raked a bunch of weeds out of the front of our yard, and I replanted grass seed, and I've been watering it like crazy.
Oh, it's your
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, and my hose sprung a leak today.
Yes, he was very upset. His old hose sprung a leak. How long have you had that hose?
That hose is about 42 years old.
Oh, you said 50 earlier.
I said 50, but then if I bought it, it was 50. If I bought it when I was 50, then I would have been 16 when I bought it, and I bought it when I was in my early 20s. So
No, when you got into your first house?
yeah, I did.
Yeah, 50, almost a 50. Walter's got an almost a 50-year-old hose with a hole in it. Do with that what you will, Russ. Yeah, so what did you do about the hole in the hose?
Well, right now I patched it for now, and I bought a new hose,
Oh, bought a new hose. Okay.
but it's probably not as good as my old hose.
Well, they don't make hoses like they used
No,
to.
they don't.
And they're expensive too, aren't they?
Yeah, this one wasn't cheap.
Do you have coupon? Do you have points?
Yeah, I got lots of points.
Oh, your favorite thing at Canadian Tire, they give Walter points just for coming in. They see him every day and they go, here you go. Here's another 50 points. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I got $12 off the hose. No, actually, you got 12, almost $14 off the hose.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Jeez. That's fair. Well, we'll take it. That's fine. So, yeah, so Walter's got our all of our container things growing upstairs. So what do we got? We've got,
Well, mostly it's peppers or tomatoes or
but you got different peppers
lettuce.
this time.
Yeah, I got
besides
some
the
different-
usual garden
Yeah, I
variety.
got some. I don't know if they'll grow, but I got jalapenos and chili peppers and
Yeah.
just a red pepper and
And there's a green pepper too, isn't there?
yeah, I think there's a green type pepper or something too.
Well, red peppers are just green peppers that,
Well, it's
that
not
feel
actually
embarrassed.
green. I think it's one of these ones that's sort of half and half, green or purple.
Okay,
or
I was trying to
blue or
make a
something.
joke and you just cut it off.
I don't know.
Fine.
I'm not, yeah,
Well,
joking.
struck that one off the card. Really?
And I got these tomatoes that I forget what they're called now. But anyway, they're sort of red and black. Cherry tomatoes.
Barb says, do you try to grow radishes?
No, actually, I haven't tried to do that.
Should do. They probably work in the container.
Yeah, they probably work.
should
okay.
do that. I do like radishes.
Yeah,
in
radishes.
summer.
would be good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks,
I
Barb.
might have some seeds.
Oh, okay. So, oh, but you're growing a cucumber too, aren't you?
Yeah, I know what they'll probably. I think they spread all.
Well, they
over the
do. They
place.
creep.
Yeah.
Because don't you remember years ago in the other house we had a big garden and we
Yeah,
put in
yeah.
cucumbers and they were all over
It
the
was
place.
an impulse buy.
In fact, I made pickles one year out of those
Yeah.
cucumbers and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know it'll do anything, but we'll see.
Oh, Laurel's here. Hello, Laurel. Inez says, Walter, my husband would patch the hose as well, not buy a new one.
Yeah, well, it's an old hose and it did bulge in two spots, so
Hate that one. That happens.
I thought I patched it. I put it on, but
Oh, I'm having visuals.
but I think it may bulge again, so I decided
You
to.
might want to have that looked at.
I'll keep the old hose, but it just
Well, you've grown attached to it.
yeah. It's a big one. It's 100-footer.
Oh, now you're just bragging. Now you're just bragging. Yeah, really. Russ says, when you're rad, but only a little, you're radish. Oh, Russ. Oh, Russ. Get that
Yeah,
printed
it's
on
like
a t-shirt.
If a mice is
If mices?
no, if
Mice?
a mouse is singular and
Mouse.
mice is a plural,
Yeah.
right? Is spouse singular and spice is a plural?
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a point in one time when people thought that was cute to say. Oh, and Spice are invited too. Spices are invited too. Yeah. Probably during the time of the Spice Girls. I don't know. Oh, Candace is here. Hi, Candace. Well, anyway, so Walter's been busy planting all that stuff. And yeah, we should try radishes. What about onions?
Yeah, I went actually the ones that I bought last year I bought them from Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
They didn't have it in their store in the spot where they normally have it, so I have to go to a different spot. So I was dragging my hose around, and
Again, bragging.
and I was gonna go out to the garden center to see if they had any um, bulbs, but then I got distracted when I ran into Leslie, and
No. Yeah, he ran into one of the neighbors that we hadn't seen in a while. Actually, she's a lady that lives kind of a block or two away from us, but I taught with her for a few years. She's retired as well. Oh, Shirley's here. Hi, Shirley. I hope you're feeling better or doing better. I saw that you had been, again, back off to see the doctors with that. Marilyn's here. Hello, everyone. How are you feeling, Shirley? Yep. So, yep, do tell Shirley. I hope things are on the up and up. You've had a rough go this year with everything. So, yeah, so the garden's coming. There'll be pictures on my vlog tomorrow of that. And I think I have a little video clip of Walter watering his grass with his hose before it blew. And yeah, and there's well, we'll talk about some other things in a moment. I'm jumping ahead of things here. So anyways, I have been working. Actually, it's been a fairly productive day today. I got my Churchill blocks all sewn together because I'm making them into a quilt. So there they are. There is a couple of intersections that don't quite line up, and I can't do anything about that at this point. So I'm not going to really worry. It'll quilt out. Walter's studying it. He's going to point his finger at all the ones that aren't matched up. I see them. I know where they are. Get your hands down. Just go away. Screw off. I'm not unhappy about this because it's fairly busy. But you know, if those of you that are following Stephanie and I, our videos about doing this block, we did have some, and I definitely had some problems with the measurements, with the way they were coming out. And that is why some of my pieces are not lined up exactly. Now, if I had put a sashing, because that's where it's most obvious, if I had done sashing on these blocks, you wouldn't have seen it. But that would have changed the whole look, and I kind of like the secondary pattern. Yeah, I'm not that worried about it. It's something. We did it as a sew along, and well, we're still actually doing it as a sew along. I'm ahead of the game here. So on Thursday of this past week, we had session 2. I think that was steps 2 and 3. And this coming Thursday, steps 3 and 4, is it 4 and 5? No, wait, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Steps 4 and 5, if you're following along, will be up this coming Thursday. So
yeah, it looks better if you see it far away. You don't notice it.
No, you don't. And when you study it, you can see that they're, yeah, I know they're there, and there's very little I could do about it. It was just because, see, those blocks were supposed to come out 20.5 inches each. They did not. They varied between about 20 inches. One of them in there, I think, came out to about 19.75 or something like that. And I did a little fudging around, but I could only fudge so far. So, yeah, that's okay. Actually, I could always applique on my Doctor Who patches to make it a Doctor Who quilt. Do the right color. That might be an idea. Maybe. I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because you want to have it so you can point it out. If I show it to anybody going, look, that doesn't match there. That doesn't match there. Yeah, well, I'm an idiot. It's what I call a fudge quilt. I fudged it the best I could. So anyways, that's what I have been up to. And let me get this off the screen and go over here. And let's see. Patricia Priest is here. Other people aren't as picky as you. They like it. They're being nice. Inez says it's beautiful. Looks like the blocks are floating. No, I'm not drinking. Oh, okay. Shirley says, I'm recovering at home, slow going, but going in the right direction. Thank you, everyone. You all have brightened my days when my days weren't going well. Well, I hope things get better for you, Shirley. Monkey Man says, will you put on borders? Yes, I am going to do borders on this. I haven't decided what those borders are going to look like yet. I just got the rows all put together this afternoon. And yeah, part of my projects next week is to get the top completely finished and like put the borders on it, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I think I might do a skinny white border, like the background, to go around with it, so that it makes the center of the quilt kind of float. And then I'll do maybe another color. I might actually do a triple border. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. I had another idea too, but I don't involve half square triangles, and I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if this quilt's worthy of that, especially when I didn't, because it bothers me I didn't get my intersections right. Those kind of things do bother me, but I can't do anything about it. That's what I said. Okay, so Lewis is here. Hello, Lewis.
Angel's here.
Oh, is Angel here? Oh yeah, there's Angel. Hi, Angel. Melissa says, how big is the top with the Churchill blocks? Not sure to do 3 down or 4. Well, the blocks, let's say the blocks work out to about 20 inches a piece. So 3 across makes it 60 inches, 3 down. So right now mine is square, so it's 60 by 60, which isn't a bad size. Once you get the borders on it, it'll probably be in around about 70, 72 square. So, you know, that's not too bad. I thought about doing another row, so I would have a rectangle. So it would be 4 down, 3 across. But I can't make any more of these damn blocks. I am so tired of making them. They're not hard, but I find them just tedious, a little bit tedious. There's a lot of pieces in them, which is another reason why your measurements could be out, because the more pieces, the more chance of things getting, out of whack. So anyways, that's that. So what's coming up? Well, the usual, Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, Wednesday, 8 a.m. start. Come anytime you want. Don't have to be there right at 8 a.m. Links in the show notes as per usual. Kim's here from Nova Scotia. And talked about the next videos for the Churchill block. Okay, this Saturday, Pop-Up Sew Day. There will be a link in the show notes for this today in the replay. There will be a link in the show notes for everything I put up next week. And those of you on the mailing list, you will get it directly to your mailbox. If you're new to a Pop-Up Sew Day, everybody is welcome. You work on whatever you want. We start at, I think I said that Stephanie and Stephen sewing started at 8. It's 9. 9. Don't come at 8. Stephanie and I have to have our private time when we're on there. We always have business meetings. It's where we cut you all up and watch it. But no, no, it's not. We do have things to talk about, though. So, so Stephanie and Stephen is 9. Pop-Up Sew Day is at 8 a.m. Again, it's come and go. You don't have to reserve a spot. Work on whatever you want. Enjoy the day. We run until about 5 in the afternoon. Walter, unfortunately for his fan club, will not be joining us because he's going off with his cronies to sew whatever they do. I don't know. Mostly stand around and bitch.
No, Gail sews a dress. I usually do a shirt or a bag. And Brendan does drag outfits.
Yes, and drag. And then, of course, there's some special drop-ins
and then sometimes
do leather
or strange people.
Restraints. I don't know. Yeah, I told you, this group he goes to, just a little bit different. Not like us quilters.
It's entertaining.
To say the least. Yeah, what? I wonder if Witchy Poo will be there.
Well, there was a lady that showed up once that was wearing a full witch's costume. And it wasn't even Halloween.
Yeah.
Pointed hat, the whole bit, right?
Yeah.
And to the point where okay. And she came and sewed. She took her hat off, though.
We took her hat off, okay.
And
okay.
But her machine was filthy.
That's what she said.
That was awful.
She's a dirty witch.
Yeah.
She needs to clean her machine.
I mean, it was black from black fingerprints.
Ooh.
It was really gross.
Ooh, gross.
It looked like I'd been dragged through the mud.
Ooh. Did I say hi to Kim? If I didn't, hi Kim. Lily is here. Hello, Lily. Chris is here from Sew the Distance. Hi, Chris. Jen is here. Car Carabardi Bar Bardart Carabardi. Sorry, Jen, I'm probably butchering your last name. Kim says Saturday is Atlantic Coast Embroidery Stitching Weekend. We will pop on. Okay. If you do, right, by all means, do drop in. Barb says, was she sitting on her broom?
No, she didn't bring a broom.
No, she
She
rides it back
came in her truck.
in her truck. A witch in a truck. Wow, you do have fun
And
people over there.
actually she was sewing up a Halloween costume for her daughter.
What was it? A regular outfit?
No,
then?
it was a black Halloween costume.
Okay. Was she a good witch or a bad witch?
I don't know. She was nice.
Was she Wiccan? Or Wicket? I don't know. Sue says, good afternoon, gentlemen. I've been an Accuquilt fanatic since it was first introduced. I'm loving your series. Looking forward to number 4. Well, Sue, I'm going to say something derogatory about Accuquilt in a few minutes, so stay tuned. But I'm glad you're enjoying the series. Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. Chris says, I'm finally catching you live. Yay, but I can't stay long. Just wanted to say hi. Well, you stay as long as you want, Chris. That's okay. And that's her husband borrowed the broom. Yeah.
I have a feeling she didn't have a husband.
Oh, well, okay, well. But isn't there a little witch in all of them? I remember that from Bewitched. That was a comment someone made, but isn't there a little witch in all of them or something? That was back in the days when you could get away with comments like that on television shows. Now they couldn't say that. Okay, so that was the pop-up sew day. All right, so the secret's out. If you saw Stephanie's live on Friday night, Shannon and I were both there. Yes, the secret that I was threatened within an inch of my life, I could not say anything about, and I did good. I did not reveal the secret at all. And so the secret was, sorry, it's going to be a bit of a letdown for you now. No, Stephanie isn't producing a book coming out, although she should. No, Shannon isn't starting up a whole business where she's going to be coming to your town to teach you foundation paper piecing, although she'd like to do that. Nope, that was the announcement. The announcement is that the retreat in Berlin, Ohio, next spring in April, I will be there and I am teaching. And I have already designed the pattern. It is a pattern, my pattern. In fact, I just quilted it this afternoon, but you're not going to get to see it. That's still a secret. That will not be shown publicly until after the retreat next April. So it gives me lots of time to work out the bugs in this pattern. So yeah, that was the big announcement. Shannon, of course, is part of that announcement. She is teaching as well. So there is Stephanie teaching, Shannon's teaching, I'm teaching, and we have another lady who's going to be teaching as well. Now, I don't know, Stephanie can probably say who she is. I don't remember her name. I think she's going to teach people how to make a Hemingway bag, which is all the craze right now. And so that retreat's going to be great because you're making 3 quilts and a Hemingway bag, and you're getting freebie pattern from each of us as well for those projects, and they're all original patterns. They're not available to anybody else out there. Nobody else has seen them. They're all original to each of us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It is a ways away, but you know how time flies. And Walter is coming. Yes, Walter will be there.
I have to go because he won't be able to drive by himself.
I don't want to drive by myself. But Walter is coming, and Walter is going to be Vanna. He's going to be my personal assistant. Yeah, not. I said Walter will be the eye candy. So all of you that are part of his fan club here, if you're going to the retreat, Walter's there. He will be signing 8x10 photos of himself for $10 a piece. Yeah. Yes, man, maybe some of them will be his faces. Oh, that just reminded me something that I wanted to do, and I forgot to do it, and I haven't got started on it yet. Something we discussed. Okay, never mind. Note to self. Okay, just note to myself. Okay, so Walter went to the doctor this week. Oh, Faith says her name is Sue. Okay, hi Jeannie. Um, so what did the doctor tell you?
Well, I've always been pretty much borderline for diabetes. And so my blood sugar went up this last time. And so she says, well, I'm still supposedly pre-diabetic, but then if I have one more bad test, I'm diabetic. So she wanted to put me on Ozempic right away. And I said, let's wait another time and see if I can lose some weight and get it under control. So,
Well, everything that I've been seeing about that drug and the people that are getting it prescribed to help them lose weight and all this other kind of stuff, as well as it's meant for diabetics and everything like that, it's not good. People are dying from that drug. I saw a documentary about it on Australian 60 Minutes, and it does not sound like it is
well,
good.
I know that if she puts me on that, then I know I'll never be able to get off it again. So you have to.
What, is it addictive?
Well, no, what it does is it makes your pancreas put out more insulin.
Hmm.
So I mean, if you go off it, obviously your pancreas stops going making the extra insulin.
Well, why can't they put you on
Not
something
only that,
else?
you still have to follow all your diet and everything else. So
Hmm. Well, I don't know.
I'm looking more into it and looking a bit more into diet changes and stuff like that, and I want to find out more information and get more informed before I'll just jump on the bandwagon and get it.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
Well, but that's just the way my doctor is. Like right away, she like throws a pill at
he
you.
is a pill pusher. That's part of what the main
Yeah,
conversation today is
I
going to be.
mean, okay, well, we'll just put you on. And then she says it has benefits. It's good for your heart and all this other stuff.
Well, according to the 60 Minutes on Australia, saw that one of the people died because it wasn't good for his heart.
Yeah,
It
so
killed him.
yeah, so
It gave him a massive heart attack.
like I mean, it's like she's been fed the what do you call it?
The line from the
The line from
manufacturers,
the
from the drug
manufacturers as
companies.
to what it's good for, and isn't really thinking of it like it's a miracle drug, right? So
And I can't help but think that these doctors that are pushing this, and a lot of doctors are pushing this one right now, they're getting kickback in some form or other for this. So, like, really, it undermines my faith in the medical community, which I don't have a lot of faith in them to start with. But we'll come back around to that one.
it does make you supposedly lose weight, but it's supposed to what it's doing is it's making you feel full, right?
So it's an
you don't.
appetite suppressant
Yeah.
sort of a thing too. But if it kills you, well, yeah, there's one way to lose
Well,
weight.
part of
Die.
that problem too is what they didn't tell you in that documentary is that people they were prescribing it to people and they didn't have any medical supervision on it either. And people started taking more than one dose than what they were supposed to take. So
Well, I'm sure there were some things left out in that documentary or in that, because you know that it was a news program. It's 60 Minutes. You know, they bend it, they spin
Elsa's
it.
been taking it for a year without any problems.
Well, I hope that continues to work for you, Elsa. But I don't think, quite frankly, from what I'm reading in other sources and hearing about it, I don't think I'd want to risk
Well,
it.
like I said, I want to be more informed about it. She sort of jumped this on me when I was there, so I'm doing some of my research and stuff.
I mean, she's supposed to be the professional. She needs to be questioned more.
Well, she threw me on a drug years ago, pantoprazole or whatever, for heartburn. I was having some heartburn issues, so she put me on it, and I was on it for like 4 years. And then I was reading that you're only supposed to take it for about 6 months at a time. And that you're not supposed to be on it for all the time. And I was reading all kinds of bad things that it does to you, right?
Well,
And so I decided well, I didn't ask her, but I decided to go off. And
Yeah.
then I had severe depression after that.
Yeah. Well, oh, was that what that was?
I was really depressed
Oh, I didn't know you were
after it.
depressed.
Yeah, and well, not super depressed that I was going to kill myself, but it was like I felt really miserable and all this other stuff, and I blame it on that, and then it finally felt better. But so she says, well, I said, I know you're not gonna be happy, but I decided to stop taking it, and I haven't had any heartburn issues since, and that was probably over 10 years ago. And so now I'm wondering why the hell I was on it.
Yeah, but she is a pill pusher.
Yeah.
The first thing she said to me when I went to her and she did a physical on me, she listens to my heart and everything like that. She goes, I think you might have a heart murmur. And I went, what do you mean I have a heart murmur? Aren't you born with something like that or whatever? Oops, that thumb came up. And that kind of stuff. Well, I can't be sure, so I'll send you for an ultrasound. She loves her tests. She loves to send you for every test there is in the book, and she loves to put you on every drug that's in the book as well. And she's not unique. Most doctors are like that anymore. So I went and I had an ultrasound, and guess what the result was? Well, they didn't really find anything. So, okay, great. It's just, well, you might have a leaky valve then. Okay, we can't just accept that you sent me to somebody, they got an ultrasound, you did this, you didn't find that, but you're determined you're going to find something, aren't you? And that's the end of what we've heard about that. Because I said, so what are we supposed to do about that? And she goes, well, we'll just wait. We'll just let it go. Yeah, well, I dropped dead in the morning, we'll know. It was that. But I don't think I have a leaky valve either. And she's always concerned about my pulse. Yeah, my pulse is a little bit higher than the average person. But it always has been. My pulse has always been. That's what I tell her. And you know, the doctors don't believe you. I mean, I went with that with my mother when I tried to convince them that my mother not walking was psychosomatic. It wasn't anything physical. And then after 4.5 months, they finally came back and said, yeah, we can't find anything wrong with her. It must be in her mind. Duh. Thank you. Yeah, just because I don't have a medical degree, I kind of know what my body feels like. So, you know, who's a better judge of how you feel than yourself? Really. But no, doctors, and we believe everything they say. We blindly believe.
Well, I have another friend that they wanted to put on Ozempic because he was overweight, and he doesn't want to go on it.
Good for him.
Because he says it has too many side effects.
Yeah. I mean, for some people, like, look at Elsa. Elsa says she's been on it for a year and she hasn't had any issues, and that's great. And there's probably for maybe many people that is the thing. It's okay. But are you going to risk it? Because every individual's a little bit different. So, you know.
I mean, if I go back and I keep getting tests and my tests aren't coming back good, or something like that, then maybe I'll then decide. But I've just had one test that went over.
Yeah.
Up until then, for the last 30 years, my blood sugar's always been a little high, right? So I had one test that went over. So now she's ready to throw me on Ozempic. So,
but she's always like that. But like I said, some people say, well, change doctors. It wouldn't really matter who you change to.
Yeah.
They are, most of them are the same.
Designing Jay says she was recently diagnosed with type 2, and her doctor prescribed metformin and a glucose meter. And metformin is the standard thing, I think. That was before Ozempic. And decided to try, she
Try diet first.
Yeah, and she's doing okay.
But she's just started on it. Yeah.
And also she's concerned with the side effects of metformin and Ozempic. So.
Well, actually, I'm concerned about side effects on any drug. Because let's remember, none of these drugs are just natural compounds that occur in nature. And not that I'm into holistic medicine or anything like that, that kind of stuff. But we have a history, don't we? In new drugs that they have, and then down the road you find there's this side effect, that side effect, and that kind of thing. Look at the whole opiate crisis. They were prescribing for, what was that? I think the power just fluctuated. But anyways, well, I guess we're still connected, so no problem. Anyways, what was that drug that people were getting addicted to it, and the one a few years ago that was being prescribed left
Oh,
and right.
that's Oxycontin.
Oxycontin, yeah. And look there's a whole lot of people that are so screwed up because of that drug. And why did they get on it? They were being prescribed by their doctors, and the pharmaceutical, I saw a documentary about this. The pharmaceutical companies, their salespeople are coming going in, well, actually you just need to increase it. That's even better. It has no side effects. It really helps them out and all this stuff. And people were addicted to it. So, and it really wrecked a lot of people. And people died from that addiction. So, and the other thing too about your family doctor, show me your degree in pharmacology. Because just because they're a doctor does not mean they know anything about the drugs. All they basically know is what they read in the medical journals, or what, more likely, what the pharmaceutical companies put out as literature, or when their salesmen come. I had years and years ago, when I first got diagnosed with having cholesterol problem, my doctor put me on Lipitor, and I was on Lipitor for many, many years. Then suddenly, out of the blue, one time I see him, he changes it to Crestor. And I said, well, why are you changing it? I've been on Lipitor like for 6-7 years, something at that point, whatever, and no side effects, and everything seems well. Well, he says, well, yeah, but Lipitor just sort of puts a barrier around the cholesterol. It doesn't really get rid of it. Crestor gets rid of it. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what he told me. Drew me a little diagram and everything on that. And then he hands me a card so that I could get Crestor covered by my insurance plan at that point in time, which is through my work and through our government and everything. So I'm thinking, well, where did you get this card? Because it was the official logo and everything of this company and whatnot. These companies were handing them out fistfuls of these cards to give to their patients, because they're still going to make money. It's just going to come from a different source, from the patient. But you get more people onto it, they make more money. So why? So I've been on Crestor ever since. And one of the side effects is stiffness in your joints. And I do have that. I've had that for years. But, not debilitating or anything like that. But I know if I spoke to our doctor now and said, okay, look, she'd probably go, well, you can go back on Lipitor or whatever. Or there's probably another new drug for that. She'd love to give that to me, I'm sure. Work on us like guinea pigs. And Designing J says she's concerned with side effects of those drugs too. Yeah, well, any drug has side effects. That's the problem. And doctors don't often know. They just know what they've read. I mean, look at these commercials on TV. May have blah, 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 two-headed dog syndrome.
That's the American commercial.
Yeah. Well, they're not allowed to advertise on Canadian television drugs like that. Well, I don't know. Have we seen drug commercials on?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know there was a time they couldn't. Ned says, my 2 great-grandsons are type 1. It's harder on the 3-year-old. He doesn't understand. Walter, what's your diet? You can do it. Yeah, the diet thing, that's what I did with cholesterol too. I didn't want to go on any kind of medication. And for a long time, I tried to regulate it with diet. But then it just got to the point where, okay, I've done everything I can do. I can't do anymore.
The thing is, if you're on metformin or on Ozempic, you still have to have the diet. You don't have any choice.
Yeah. So, and Barb hasn't had any from Metformin. She hasn't had any side effects. She's been on it for years. But that's what I'm saying.
I need to lose some weight. That's the problem.
Yeah, but our doctor's a skinny little, you can spit through
No, but losing the weight makes your blood sugar go better.
Yeah, fine.
Because in 2019, when I had a fair bit of weight loss, my blood sugar was the best it's been.
Oh. Fine, lose weight. Elsa says, I had too many side effects with metformin. Still, I could start with diet and exercise and metformin before trying Ozempic. Yeah, I know. Dieting isn't
A
easy.
diet,
Okay.
and then they're talking two things. They're talking about what you eat when you're on a diabetic diet,
Yeah.
and it also and also losing weight.
Mm.
That's two different things.
So did she give you any kind of sheet with a list of things you
No,
for
actually,
a
she
diet?
told me I could go to information session, which I turned down at the time, but now I'm thinking I should have gone to it.
And there we go again.
What?
Our doctor does nothing but referrals.
Yeah, no, but
Go to this,
hang
go
on,
to
hang
that.
on.
Go.
That's what they normally do. But I looked up the Diabetes Canada, and they have a good guide on there and everything else. So I'm looking at that.
Just let's keep the professional.
So they did that to my dad when he was diagnosed with type 2. My dad was diagnosed with
Okay,
type 2.
but doctors don't know.
They,
That's what I'm saying.
send
Doctors
you,
don't know.
no, they give you a guide as to what you can eat.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine. You're missing the point. Never mind. Let's see, backing up here. That's good. Faith says, wonder if you would be able to get it in Canada. In the USA, there's a national shortage.
Yeah, no, you can get it in Canada. It has to be prescribed. There was a shortage of it at one point in time, but it's apparently okay. But our doctors, they won't just willy-nilly prescribe it to you. You have to be either morbidly obese or type 2 diabetes.
Mona's here. Hi, Mona. Barb says, I trust my pharmacist more than my doctor. Well, that's true because the pharmacists take all the chemistry. They know all the interactions between drugs and that kind of thing. That's their business to know that. Doctors, especially a general practitioner, they don't. And okay, to be fair to them, they don't have time to keep up with all of that, which is true. But I question the way some doctors just willy-nilly hand out the pills. Say, oh, okay, we'll put you on this. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't sound like the educated way to do things. Lydia's here. Hi, Lydia. She's back on her way back from the boat. Beautiful weekend, but water's too cold to swim. Did you do any sewing on the boat, Lydia? Melissa says type 1 isn't regulated by diet like type 2.
No, I know
No,
that.
type 1's the more severe, isn't it?
Yeah, it means that you don't produce enough insulin. Type 2 is your body still produces insulin, but your body is resistant to using it properly.
Patsy says my doctor's been preaching the Mediterranean diet. So does our doctor.
Yeah, the Mediterranean diet is one of the diets that they recommend for, I think.
Well, what's
type
that?
2.
You drink a bottle of olive oil every day?
I haven't been through all the diets yet, but there is Mediterranean, there's something called the DASH diet, and there's other ones.
Hi, Sherry. Yeah, well.
So the diet, what's the thing is what you're looking at is diet is not as in diet isn't losing weight diet. Diet is
I know
type
what
of
you're eating, what your type of eating is. So, yes, we need to eat more fruits and vegetables.
But it's like things like I was reading something about diabetic diet that if you have carbohydrates, you should add a protein to that carbohydrate to be able to eat it, and it doesn't absorb your sugar as fast and stuff. So, like if you can eat a banana, but if you eat a banana with peanut butter, it's better.
Oh, good. I like peanut butter and
So
banana.
stuff like that.
Fine. Oh, well, I could eat that. I could.
And instead of one English muffin, you eat half an English muffin, but you should eat it with an egg.
Well, we did that this morning.
Yeah.
You see, I feed you well. I'm conscious of the diet, of the proper way to eat. You need to eat more vegetables. Walter, did they recommend a diet clinic?
No, and I'm not going to this diet clinic that they recommend here because the guy is Dr. Poon, and he puts you on vegetables and nobody stays on the Dr. Poon diet for that way.
Dr. Poon. Poontang? Old joke.
Yeah, bananas are high in sugar.
Yeah, carbs turn into sugar. Bananas are high in sugar. Yeah. Yeah, well, if you're...
Yeah, I know. I'm just learning about all this stuff now, so...
eat lower carb fruit, all the berries. So berries are lower carb, are they? Okay. Yeah, well, there you go. And what? Root vegetables are considered to have higher sugar, don't they? Like carrots and...
Yeah, I know. I'm looking into it.
Yeah, okay, fine. whatever. I think we need to get a resident dietitian cook kind of thing. Prepare all our meals. Happy. Oh, look, an attractive green bean. That's lovely. Are green beans full of sugar? They're
You
your
probably got
favorite.
some. No, they're not my favorite.
I
They're the
think.
ones my mother always used to make. But
Well, you make them enough here. I like green beans, but sometimes. So, anyways, that was fun.
and not too much beer.
We're drinking low carb
Yeah,
beer.
right.
Yeah, right. So other doctor things this week. It was a week of doctors. I went off to the dentist for a cleaning, and yeah, that wasn't. She spent a little bit more time than she did last time, and I was thinking because I have a water pick that was doing well. And she says, "Oh yeah, the water pick is good." With it, but well, I guess it was okay. It's just that I don't like dentists.
You were expecting not to have to do anything.
I was expecting that it was going to be, I was hoping, I knew that it probably wouldn't be, but I was, because I'm faithful to my water pick 3 times a day. Plus, I still use floss at night as well. I told her that. And every time you go in, it doesn't matter. They've got some little tip for you. And this tip of this week, and she's told me this before, well, when you get in there with the floss, make sure you get right down in and then sort of scrape down the sides. Scrape down the sides. Well, you try scraping down the sides of your teeth, doing it yourself, trying to get in the back ones and the whole bit. I make a very good effort at it. I'm very particular about my teeth because my parents had bad teeth. I don't want to have what they have and had or anything like that. So, but you can't ever do enough for them. And sometimes you just wonder, like doctors pushing pills they know nothing about. I sometimes wonder if a lot of this stuff is theory as well. And I'm not dealing with the dentist, I'm dealing with the dental hygienist. So, it's kind of like dealing with teacher's aides. And when you're a teacher, they always seem to know more than the teacher. Dental hygienists always seem to know more than the dentist. Then so why aren't you a dentist? Anyways, now I like her though. I like her personality. She's okay and everything like that. She used the ultrasonic on me. Have you had the ultrasonic?
Yes, I have. I said, well, geez, I've never had them use that before. She goes, well, we use it all the time. And I said, well, you've never used it on me before.
Yeah, they've used it on me before too. I mean, I said to her, so what's this thing do? Is this like vibration, sound and that kind of thing? She says, yeah. I said, okay. But they have to squirt water in your mouth too while they do it because it has to work with water. So I don't really know what the advantage of it is. I mean, it doesn't hurt. So, I mean,
don't know.
could you use it instead of the stupid
So,
pick?
so they can charge you more.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But just like everything else. So that was a thrill. And then I went to the eye doctor, of course, to have my, well, it used to be yearly exam because the government, when you were over 65, they covered the cost of that. But now they still cover the cost, but it's every 18 months. So I was in there and I was telling him, I said, I'm having some trouble seeing out of my glasses. I said, probably I need a change. He said, well, he checked them and he says, yeah, you've had a slight different change in your prescription. I said, well, I look at a computer screen a lot, and then I'm looking at a sewing machine a lot, and I'm finding that the focal point isn't as sharp as it was before. And he says, well, and I said, I don't like the progressives because I can't get used to where I'm supposed to look in these things. And he said, well, you could get bifocals. He says, they're the ones with the line in them. And I said, I don't think I want those either on that. And he says, but there is a one called home and computer lenses. And they're meant for people who are, using a computer a lot and that kind of stuff. And I said, oh, well, that sounds, and we talked a little bit more about it. I said, that sounds like something that I would work for me. He says, well, I'll put it on your prescription change here so your your optometrist will see that and know. So my optometrist is right next door. In fact, they're all in the same building. And in fact, my optometrist doctor runs the eye examination part of the whole thing. And so I went in to see Carl. I get all my glasses from Carl, have for quite a long time now. And Sat down with him. And then he's talking about, he says, no, he says, I don't think those are going to help you at all. He says, you've had a bit of a change, he says, in your left lens. So we get that upgraded. He said, that'll help with what you want to. But he says, he's trying to talk me into having 2 pairs of glasses. So, and I still didn't understand what the point of 2 pairs of glasses was for, because I don't need my glasses for distance, because I have lenses in my eyes from when I had my cataracts done. And I don't drive with my glasses and all that kind of stuff. And he's talking about, I said, no. I said, I do not want 2 pairs of glasses because I know what will happen. The pair that I need at that moment in time will be somewhere else. And I'll be constantly looking all over the place for my glasses. 1 pair is enough. And then he shows me, I said to him, I like these frames and I want these frames still. And he said, well, and he pulls out another pair. He is a little bit of a salesman when it comes to his frames, and he usually has very nice frames. They're not particularly inexpensive frames. And he's very good at picking out frames for you that, that will suit your face and everything like that. So, I mean, I do respect his opinion. He comes out with these ones in their wire, and they've got the nose pieces in them. And I went, no. But he said, yeah. I said, no, I don't want wire glasses, wire frames. I've had wire frames for many, many years, and I'm constantly having to have them adjusted for it. And I said, those nose pieces, those separate nose pieces in there, as soon as they get bent any which way, then it starts pulling on your ear. And I said, it drives me mental. These ones don't have that. I'm really happy with the way they fit and how they feel. Well, they've improved them. I said, I don't care what they've done. The answer is a really hard no. Okay? So no 2 pairs of glasses. I want my frames that I have now. So anyways, we worked it all out, and they're in the process of making my new lenses. But then he said, well, I kind of need your frames for a week. And I went, that's not happening. I need these. If I don't have these,
well, how are they going to fit glasses in it if you don't?
Because I have had glasses where they put the lenses in there. He wants the manufacturer to put the glass in. He says they do a better job. He says more. I don't think he wants to do it himself, basically. But he says, not a problem. He says, I can work around that. So he pulled these frames off the shelf. These are not my frames, but these are pretty much like my frames, almost identical. He snapped my lenses out of my old frames, snapped them into these frames, and so these are a loaner until the other ones come in. But I do trust his opinion, but it's funny what he had to say about ophthalmologists, which his daughter is one. She owns the business. He says, yeah, he says they sit in a darkened room all day long and things look good to them in that environment. But in the reality of things, they're not the ones wearing these glasses. He said, they have to suit you. They have to fit for you. So I'm not getting those ones. And he says these other lenses, he says they have a better peripheral vision on them too and everything. Yeah, they should have.
Yeah, but weren't they suggesting that you get one that was better for distance and the other one that was better for close up?
No, you came up with that conclusion.
No, that's why you were describing it.
No, I said that my left lens is the one that needs to be strengthened a little bit.
Okay.
The prescription. No, you just jumped to the conclusion. And
I thought you said that that's what the ophthalmologist told. Okay.
He said that the left lens was.
Okay, well that's
not what he was doing. No, you just didn't listen.
Okay, fine.
And I just stopped trying to explain these things to you because right. You're right. You're always right. You're right. I'm not.
Well, you didn't explain it, Ralph.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, now, Alzheimer's.
Whatever. Yeah, right. Your Alzheimer's. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, guess how much the new lenses? They're just the lenses. Remember, only $950. Bargain. Yeah. But my lenses are always expensive. Well, lenses are always more expensive than your glass frames anyways, but on top of it. So, yeah.
So when's the last time you got a prescription that I had to put in for my...
It was during COVID. Or actually, it was before, because I haven't gone and had my eyes examined during COVID.
Yeah, okay. So
we'll put it in and see what we get.
You'll get about $350.
Yeah, because that's the max you can get, right? So, anyways, that was fun this week too. But at least all of these things are now out of the way, which is good. Um, and what are everybody saying here? Carbs and turns into sugar. Karen says exactly, well, it's all about money. I agree. And Barb says, I had an eye exam on Saturday. Apparently I have cataracts, so now I have to see a specialist. Yeah. Well, okay, let me tell you about cataracts, okay? I had they called them very aggressive cataracts. And when I was 55, that's when they did my eyes. And I had both eyes done, and they put lenses in my eyes, because that's what they do with cataracts. They remove your old lens in there, and they put a new lens in. And at that time, it was covered. So they put in my prescription in my eyes. Apparently, you have to pay for that now, and it can be quite pricey, like $1,000
Well,
an
you
eye.
did actually pay for that.
Well, I paid up
You paid only like $200.
$200 or something like that. Yeah, at the time with it. But you want to know something? The best thing that ever happened to me as far as eyesight, and I've been wearing corrective lenses since I was 11 years old. I mean, I wore contact lenses for 30 years. And that it was like, it's so simple, the procedure. There's nothing to worry about. And if you're getting lenses, and I highly recommend it. I mean, I don't know how it works in the States, cost wise and that, but if you can afford to do it, because it's great. Now you'll still need reading glasses or a form of glasses. That's why I wear these, because now I don't know, they may have gotten better, but 12 years ago when I had mine done, you had to choose. Do you want to be able to see long distances without corrective lenses, and then you need, like I'm wearing, for shorter distances for reading, like here or whatever. I don't need these to watch television. I can watch television no problem with that, and I can drive without them. But or you can go the other route. Well, I think it's better for me. It was better to, okay, I'll have them for reading and that kind of thing. But yeah, the surgery, nothing to it. And when I first saw the specialist and he told me what was going to happen, I said to him, so you just use laser for that, don't you? And he says, oh no, they cut them out. Yeah. That was a little uptight. So when I'm sitting to wait, then they give you something to relax you before you go in. And pretty much. And you are like, you're awake when they do it, but you're kind of numb to the whole thing. They put some stuff in your eyes too as well, but nothing to it. It took 7 minutes per eye to do it. That's it. They wheeled you in, and where I went is a local hospital to the area, and they do a lot of cataract surgeries there. So it's like an assembly line. People are lined up kind of in the waiting room, and they call you in and away you go. And yeah, I remember pretty lights. You feel absolutely nothing. And yeah, you could see, I guess when he removed the lens in my eye, suddenly there's all these colors. Like it was like you're on an LSD or something, from what I've heard about that. And it was miraculous. Now, they may give you, I've noticed some people come out with, like, they usually only do one eye at a time. Come out with an eye patch just to protect their eye from bright light. They didn't give me one of those. And I was a little sensitive to light for a day or two, but not that bad. Not like to the point where you couldn't see anything or whatever with it. So it went like a piece of cake. Best thing I ever had done. Nothing to worry about. So if you have any worries about it, don't worry about it.
Barb just said that she ordered new glasses and lenses on Saturday. She was just diagnosed with cataracts, and she's got to go see a specialist. She just says, do you suggest I wait to see the specialist? That might be a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised. What
I'm surprised that...
did they know you were going to?
I mean, it depends on how bad you need those new glasses, because it may take you a while to get your cataract surgery.
Yeah, it may take a while to get in.
Of
course, it's not Canada, where it takes 3 years.
But it would probably be better, if you can, to wait for your specialist before you get new glasses. because you may opt to get lenses put in your eyes, and
Yeah.
then you wouldn't need glasses.
Yeah, so yeah, I would say it'd be better to wait for that.
No.
Lydia says probably best to wait, Barb. If you need a prescription afterwards, it'll be more likely changed after surgery. It did for my mom. Yeah, mine did too. Same thing. So, will I
Barb,
be able to drive home from the apartment? No. Appointment? No.
no, you'll have to get somebody to drive you. In fact, they'll tell you that.
They won't let you. They will not do the surgery if you don't have somebody right there to take you home with it. At least that's how it worked here. Yeah, they will not let you drive. Also, you have to remember, they give you a bit of a dopey drug as well. You're still a little loopy
Yeah.
when you come out of there. Not majorly, but a little bit.
Yeah, and normally they only do one eye at a time.
Well, she said it was the optometrist who gave her the referral. And they gave you... See, this is what I'm saying about people in the medical profession. They do stupid things. I mean, logic would dictate that if you're getting a referral, he could give you the prescription and say to you what we just said to you, but you might want to hold off getting this filled until you find out when you're going to see the specialist and what the results of are that.
Yes.
I mean, do they think? I don't think so.
No, you can drive to the follow-up appointment usually, but
Yeah.
you can't drive right after you have the surgery.
No, wait, she says yes, and I couldn't drive to the first follow-up appointment.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think that's right too. I had to drive you to the follow-up appointment.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but okay. And then there's something called secondary cataracts, which aren't really cataracts. What happens is, the way it was explained to me at the time was, your vision after a couple of months or so might go a little bit foggy for a while, and that's because your eyes, the white blood cells or something, are attacking the lenses because it's a foreign body now in your eye.
Yeah, actually, that can happen. That often happens after a couple of years, but with him, it happened after
very
a couple
quickly.
of months.
Yeah.
So.
And what they do is you go in and they use a laser, and you sit in like you're in the eye optometrist's office, and they put the big heavy duty glasses on you and the thing. Well, they do the same thing, but what he does is he uses a laser and he shoots all the spots, the fog things out. It's like he's playing Space Invaders. You feel absolutely nothing. You just keep hearing this little, well, at least I did on his way. You could hear this little beep, 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 beep. It kept asking, are you winning? Like, what is? And I think I had 30, 40 points that he boomed out, and then my vision was cleared right up from that. That's a normal thing that can happen to some people, I guess. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but
Well, I've heard, I know people that have gone several years after cataract surgery before they've had to do that. So.
Well, I had very aggressive cataracts, so I guess I had very aggressive fog. I don't know. I don't do anything ordinary. Thimble and Hook and Shuttle are here from Las Vegas. Las Vegas. That's Izar. Let's see. And Designer J says he gave me the okay to drive after that. Okay. Lydia says my mom wasn't allowed to drive to her first follow-up either. Yeah,
the follow-up
guess,
is
yeah.
usually pretty quick after you
Yeah.
have the surgery.
Yeah, it's usually within a week or two with that. Yeah, I guess I don't remember. I remember.
Well, see, you had it done when you were like 55, so that's over 10 years ago.
It's like 12 years ago.
And so I was still working, and so I remember having to take time off to take you there.
Okay, well, you have a good memory, but when you have dementia and Alzheimer's, every day's a new day. Yeah. Iser says, I was diagnosed with cataracts, but my funky insurance wouldn't cover the surgery. Finally, the states increased the coverage on seniors and got my eyes done. Wow, what a difference. Yep. Yeah, it is. It's incredible with it. I highly recommend it for anybody not to worry at all about it. I mean, as long as your eyes are healthy, of course. I mean, if you, well,
If you have glaucoma, that's what Patsy said. She has glaucoma.
But my mother had glaucoma and so did her.
Yeah, they did her, but I guess it depends, right? Like
Yeah.
when you have blue eyes, and you could have had a complication.
Well, apparently, people with blue eyes, we have a bigger chance of having a retinal detachment. And when he was in doing my contacts or my cataracts, he loosened off one of the larger sacs that was in my eye. You know, they create floaters. Everybody has floaters. I have a lot of floaters, but I have a great big floater in this one eye. And if as long as I don't think about it, I don't notice it. But right now I'm thinking about it, I can see it go by. Boom. But apparently, the ophthalmologist told me after I'd had the surgery, says, "Oh yeah, you've got a big floater in there now. That when he did your cataracts, it probably was knocked loose." She says, "That's actually not a bad thing." She said, because that alleviates some of the pressure on your eye, and because you have blue eyes, that could lead to retinal detachment. So it's really not a bad thing. And as long as it's not like causing you any real hardships in your vision and stuff like that, she says, she says, "Do you see it?" I said, "Only when I think about it." She says, "Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Your mind blocks it out." So, yeah. And they always check me, of course, they check me for glaucoma when I go in. That's the other thing. Yeah, the eye exam was free because the government covered it. But the special little device where they take a picture of the back of your eyeball, that's $55 for that. And they do that every time because I have a more of a chance of getting glaucoma because my mother had it. I guess it's hereditary. But so far, no signs of that. And he showed me my eyeball, the back of it, and the blood vessels are good. And I could see the little floaters, like he pointed out what those were, the floaters or anything. He says, "Yeah, you got quite a few, but that's, not unusual." I said, "I know, I've lived with it my whole life. I'm never alone. If I blink my eyes quickly, I see all my little friends go by." Yeah, in there. So, yeah. Okay, so, yep, if you have blue eyes, that's the price we pay for gorgeousness, Blue eyes are the one of the rarest colors of eyes, and we are absolutely gorgeous with them. I pick out shirt colors to bring out the blue in my eyes. You want to look long and deep in my eyes? What color are your eyes?
My eyes sort of hazel color.
Oh, couldn't make up your mind, eh?
Greeny color.
Yeah.
Actually, I used a long time ago when I first started wearing contacts. The contacts were good for a year, and by the end of the year, the contacts would start going yellow because they would degrade over time, right? And they would make my eyes turn green.
Oh. I was going to say,
Somebody
make your
said
eyes
to
look
me
like
once,
a thriller.
"Oh, you have lovely green eyes," and I said, "That's my contacts have turned yellow."
Melissa says, "Same here in the States. I have to pay for the eye picks. Yeah, also have floaters when I think about them." Yeah. Karen says, "Stephen, are your eyes dry with the lenses they put in after cataract surgery?" No. I haven't noticed that at all. Never had a problem that way. One problem I do have, though, when you're at the ophthalmologist and they dilate your pupils, they put the drops in. Well, back a few years ago, I had a very severe allergic reaction to the drops. Now, at that time, that ophthalmologist was putting in numbing drops first because she said the other drops sting. Well, that was news to me because I'd always had the drops. You always get them or I always do anyways. I imagine everybody does. And yeah, they tingle a little bit, but it's not major. It's not like, "Oh my God, give me a spoon and take out my eyeballs." Nothing like that. But I got home, and a few hours later, my eyes were kind of itchy and stinging. And I looked in the mirror, and I had bags under my eyes that were like suitcases. They were down on my shoulders practically. He's laughing because I said, "I think I'm having a problem." He thought it was hilarious. These big puffy juju eyeballs. So I called them up and said, "I think I'm having an allergic reaction to the drugs." And the receptionist or whatever, she says, "Oh, why do you think that?" And I told her. And she says, "Oh." She says, "I've never heard of that." And I says, "Well, it's happening." She says, it isn't something you ate. I said, no, you didn't get stung. No, this is happening because this is what's happened today.
And you've had it every time since.
Yeah.
And and they don't put that numbing stuff in your
No,
eyes
so
anymore.
jump right ahead of the story.
Okay.
So anyways, it took about 5, she said, well, okay, if taking an antihistamine, she said, that'll help. And if it's really bad, give it a day or two. And if it's still really bad, give us a call. And yeah, I don't know. What are you going to do? Chop out my eyeballs or whatever, that kind of thing. Well, it took about 5 days and then my eyes went back to normal. So the next time I was in, I said to the ophthalmologist, it was the same one. And I says, okay, before you put in the drops, did your receptionist tell you? She says, yeah, there's a note here on the computer. You had like an allergic reaction. And I said, yeah. And I described it to her. And she went, well, she said, you've always had those kind of drops before without any problem. I said, yeah, but didn't you use a numbing thing first that time? And she said, yeah, I did. And I said, maybe it's that. And she says, okay, well, if you don't mind the sting from it, she said, we don't have to use it. I says, I can put up with the sting. It's nothing. The sting is nothing to it.
They never put numbing drops in for me.
Well, they just hit you over the head with a ball peen hammer and you're fine. Yeah, because you're already numb. But, so that time she just used the drops. Guess what happened? I got Racky Raccoon eyes again for another few days. So this time when I'm in, I said to the guy before he was going to put in the drops, because he was a different ophthalmologist. They change there like you change your underwear. I don't know in this place. They're in, they're out. And I said, he says, yes, I see the note here on the computer. You had an allergic reaction and that. And I talked to him about it, said what I just told you guys. And he says, oh, well, we won't use those. We'll just use the drops. And I thought, okay, fine. Came home. Didn't think it was a problem. But, oh, yeah. Now, it wasn't as bad.
No, it wasn't as bad as the first time you had
I've still got a little bit of it.
You got suitcases the last couple of days, and you still have a little bit of a problem.
Is that what your problem is?
No.
No, you just have naturally...
I just have
natural
bags.
Natural bags, yeah. Bags. There's a hole in your hose, and well, you're falling apart. But anyways, yeah. So I guess this is just something I have to live with.
You should.
Well, I will.
Mention that.
I will.
Yeah, next time.
I will again. It says so. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. But my eyes were really itchy. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, I really where I just wanted to take them out and soak them. But they're better today. They're still a little bit itchy, but well, figures. Never had allergies before in my life. Now suddenly I've got them in my old age. Okay, so that's all the stories about doctors. Oh yeah, vaccinations. So our government just sent out to us a notification that if you're over 65 years of age, the next round of booster shots for COVID are available. Well, I mean, my last one is usually about 6 months after.
Yeah, but if you read that note properly...
Are you going to jump ahead here?
Did you read that note properly?
I did read the note properly. What do you mean read the note properly?
The original note says, if you've had your booster shot in the last 6 months, or if you've had COVID, right, then you don't need the shot. That's what the original message
No,
said.
It said about COVID, but it did, which I was getting to, but it did not say if you've had your shot in the last 6 months. It says it has to be 6 months. I got the same
message.
Yeah, it says it has to be 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, or you've had COVID. That's what it said.
To get the next shot, it has to be 6 months between shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have to look up the because it said that. Yeah, it said 6 months, or if you had COVID.
If it was under 6 months or you had COVID, no. If it has been over 6 months and you haven't had COVID, yes, to the shot.
Yeah, well, I'll look it up again because you're out. Well.
Anyways, I had COVID, so I can't get the shot until the ones come out in the fall from that. Because it's supposed to be 6 months, 3 to 6 months after you've had COVID. Yes, what? Yes.
Yeah, okay. You get it.
What, was I right?
Yeah, I guess.
I was right?
Oh.
What was that?
Never mind.
I was right? You were wrong.
No, I wasn't wrong. You were an idiot.
You're wrong. Anyways, yeah. So again, these vaccination things, they want you. And now they're putting a scare in us in Ontario. They've had one case of measles and the kid died. But guess what? The kid was a little kid and the kid didn't have all his childhood shots that he was supposed to have. He hadn't got the vaccination for the measles. The parents didn't do that. I don't know why they didn't go into the details for it. So, there's that whole issue again between the vaxxers and the anti-vaxxers and all that. And I don't know. I think I go to the vaccination side myself.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're telling them,
but then in the
complaining about pushing drugs.
Well, that's the only thing with the COVID thing. But then you don't know. We don't know. Because there's always new strains, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a new strain circulating.
Yeah, there's always a new strain. It's like every year there's a new strain of flu shots. Okay, so for flu shot, well, I always get the flu shot. But is there a new strain? How do we know? I don't have a petri dish with me and coughing in it and taking a little score to see what that's there. We're trusting them all to tell us there's new strains of this. And then, so they're working on new vaccinations for it. Are they? Or is this, again, something that's being put out there by the drug manufacturers? They are the richest companies in the world. So, I don't know.
And Shuttle. Did you have any bad reactions to your shingles shot?
Nope. But some people do. Some people do have reactions to it. I didn't have a reaction to it.
I didn't ask you. I asked Symbolic and Shuttle.
I thought she said she did. I thought that's what
she says she's sick of getting shots. I just finished my shingles round.
Now I have to gather. Oh, okay. Then where did the whole thing come up about a reaction?
I asked if she had a reaction.
Oh, okay, fine.
I had a bad reaction.
You have a bad reaction to everything.
No, I don't have a bad reaction to eye drops.
You have a bad reaction to what I cook.
I have a bad reaction to you.
Yeah. She's got dogs have to have vaccines now too. Yeah, that's something I've been seeing lately. Hearing people say all these different shots for your pets now. It was so much easier with Cleo. She used to get a distemper shot every year or something like that, and I'd take her in.
Yeah, well, we stopped giving her shots because she was an indoor cat.
Well, yeah, that's why I said, but they wanted to like pump her full of all kinds of things, which, of course, maybe she should have been pumped with more of them. Maybe she wouldn't have had pancreatic cancer. But I don't know. Poor baby. Missed the baby. Anyways, yep. So back to, we said too, how much do doctors really know? I don't trust them. I don't think well, how can they know everything? They can't. It's impossible with that. So, okay. But we go to them because they're supposed to know more than we do. I'm not really sure. I think my grandmother was right. She never went to a doctor. Of course, she did die from probably ovarian cancer.
I thought that was stomach cancer.
Well, they were calling it stomach cancer, but at the time, that day and age, it was 1979. They didn't want to say it was a woman's problem. Okay, so I think it was probably ovarian, but she left it way too long. She didn't go to the doctor, and then by the time they looked after her, well, yeah, she had a radical hysterectomy when she was in there, so it was. It wasn't stomach cancer. Okay, it was something else. And I sometimes question, too, why doctors become doctors in this day and age. Do they really want to help people or do they want to help themselves? Because it's a lucrative business. So I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate with it, whatever. But, and specialists especially are like, they have a bedside manner of an artichoke. I mean, they are nasty. You're just a guinea pig for their research.
Well, I could see that. If they got people that are on the 550E users group in asking about their medical problems, and the way they ask about problems for their sewing machines, I'd be bitter too.
Well, nobody said it was an easy profession, but you know that when you go into it. Teaching's not an easy profession either.
Well, that time I was in there with a specialist for my knee, and a lady came in and he said, "Are you healthy? Do you have any medical problems?" And she says, "Oh no, I'm healthy." And then she lists off he says, "Well, what drugs are you on?" And she's like 15 drugs she's on. And he got pissed off at her and said, "I thought you said you were healthy." She says, "Well, I'm feeling okay today."
Well, I get it. I mean, they get that kind of thing. It's got to be trying, but nevertheless, every job has its drawbacks, and you have to live with it. You know, you're going to anytime you're dealing with people in your job, you know, you got to have a strategy for handling the nuts out there. So, whatever. But I don't know. Some of them are just like that one that my father had to go see years ago, who basically wouldn't talk to my mother at all. He was extremely chauvinistic, and he was trying to make my father do things my father could not do. He wanted my father to get up and walk around the room. He's in a wheelchair. He can't walk. And he was hurting my father. And so I finally took over. That guy didn't know what hit him with that. I said, first of all, I said, let's get a few things straight. We don't work for you, you work for us. Where do you think you're getting your paycheck from or whatever? And I said, second of all, you do not treat my mother that way. I don't care what culture you come from, because he was Asian and he was an older man and the whole bit. And I said, but here in Canada, we do not treat women like that, and you do not treat my mother that way. Meanwhile, my mother's going, Stephen, Stephen, which meant don't make a scene. Stop it, mother. Just sit down, shut up. And I said, my father can't walk. You know this. What are you trying to make him do? What is the purpose of this? And I said, and just because you've got a lot of education, I want you to know something. I have as much bloody education as you do, except in a different field. So stop talking down to us. Stop being condescending. Stop being a chauvinistic pig to my mother, and stop hurting my father. Or I'm going to put in a complaint to your College of Physicians and other spots as well. So do you want to start again? He started again. He apologized to my mother. He apologized to my father. And he got on with the thing. So, yeah, again, squeaky wheel. But, you know, that's how some of these professionals, these specialists are. They think the flies don't grow on them, that they're smarter than everybody else. No, you have a certain different knowledge base than maybe some other people, but that doesn't necessarily make you smarter than other people. And besides, how do we know we're not going to a doctor that only just barely passed their final exams? They don't post those, do they? Is there a difference between someone who got 50% and someone that got 95 as a doctor? Just saying.
Karen Yarborough.
Yeah.
Yes, as an NP. What's an NP?
As an MP, I don't know. Most providers really want to help you. As a nurse practitioner.
Oh.
Well, Karen, I would like to think that. And I think people in the nursing profession tend to be more that way. But the more specialized the doctors are,
at least the ones in Canada.
Yeah, at least the less bedside manner has been my experience. I mean, there are lots of good doctors out there. Hard to find them, though. So
well, that one that was nasty to that woman, that was the guy that was looking after me.
Yeah.
He was fine with me. It's with her she was like nasty about this.
Okay, well, even though she was...
Well, no, he wasn't nasty about it. He just sort of like laid into her because he asked her what her general health was. And then she turned around and then he said she was fine and all this other stuff. And then he asked her what medication she's on. She started rhyming them off. And he said, well, wait a minute. You just told me you were healthy. And she says, yeah, but I've got all these medications. And then he goes, well, you're not healthy. You should.
Well, I could see him saying something like that because, you know, sometimes, you know, the kind of thing. But no, that I'm not talking about ones that occasionally might lose it a little bit, because you can understand that. But there are just some that are just plain cold.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want...
Well,
people are a problem for them. They shouldn't be in the profession. Nobody should be in any profession that deals with the general public if they're not prepared to deal with the general public. You know, that's the way I think it is. And it's not just limited to doctors. So teachers can be that way too. I've known a few crackpot teachers in the years. Yeah.
sitting next to me.
Well, let me use my teacher voice on you. Oh, you must have thought I was someone who gives a shit. I don't. About
Yeah,
you
I
or
already
not.
know that.
Maybe someone will drop a house on you. And your little dog
I
too.
already know that.
Yeah. Can you spell asshole? I can. It's spelled Walter. Anything more you want? Yeah, whatever.
An idiot is spelled
Idiot. Well.
Teveen.
So that takes us to, we're getting near the end of our time. So let's move on to making some comments about
I thought
comments.
you were going to talk about your problem today with your machine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know some of you have been following our So Chatty series on the Accuquilt, right? And I've been singing the praises of it all. Well, if you remember back, half a year ago or so, I had a little problem with the adapter that gives power to the machine, and Quilter Quilting eventually got that all straightened out for me, but they did something that is not probably approved by the company, Accuquilt. Well, I got out my Accuquilt today, set it up, pushed the on button. It didn't. It did not come on. And I went, oh, okay. Am I plugged in? Yes, I am. Unplugged the little plug from the side. That's where the problem was before. Plugged it in. Everything seems to be the same, though. But before, basically, the little pin that the adapter went into just kind of moved its way right inside the machine because it came unsoldered or whatever from it. So I thought, well, that seems okay. So let me check my power source. Well, the light's on the brick, on the power brick, and it's plugged in, but I decided to try it, and that outlet had other things on it, and they're all working. So I decided to try it on a different outlet. Nope, I tried it on 2 different outlets. Nope, that's not the problem. I don't know what it is. So I wrote a little note to Quilter Quilting to my buddy Zach there and told him, I started with, you're not going to want to read this email. I'm sorry, but I have an Accuquilt problem. So I told him what the problem is, and we'll see when I hear back from him, maybe sometime next week, what we're going to do next. Luckily, I have the other Accuquilt, the manual one, although the manual one will not handle my super large dies. Of course, mind you, I haven't used those yet. They're still in the package, but kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm a little pissed off with Accuquilt's quality on the machines, on this machine, on the Go Big Electric. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if it stems from the same problem I had before, or it's something new. So
and this is your second.
This is my second electric one. Yeah, they replaced it before. Well, Zach replaced it.
Yeah.
And then he fixed the other one and the whole bit. So we'll see. But I can tell you this. If there's going to be a fight about this, and there could be, I'm not giving up. So stay tuned for developments on that down the road.
I am.
Oh, M's here. Hi, Em. We haven't seen you in a donkey's age. We were asking about you on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen this past week. Someone was saying, had we heard from Em? And we had not. So hi, I hope you're doing okay.
You're doing okay.
Yeah. So some comments very quickly. These are a mixture of comments from various videos I put up this week. One was about quilt donations. Remember I said that I had donated a quilt to the senior citizens. They sold raffle tickets. They got about $440 for it. And I said, well, I was kind of hoping they might get a little bit more for it. But, I said, but, people buying raffle tickets on a quilt probably don't quilt themselves. So it's the age-old thing. The value of a quilt. Do you ever get it back? This person wrote to me, said, once you donate or gift a quilt, what happens or how much revenue is generated is no longer within your control. Don't be offended. Be offended for the charity who needs the funds. Yeah, I wasn't offended by it. In fact, I was surprised it got that much because I figured, pensioners don't have a lot of money to spend. But it was more or less, you hope it raises more money because $440 doesn't go far for, a senior citizens community center, but I suppose it's better than not getting $440 at all. So that was that. Another one was about if I have a production schedule. It was a suggestion. This person says, is there a list for dates and times of all your video when times all your videos are on. No, but there is a schedule of sorts. I'm dropping everything on the floor. Mondays are my vlog, and they usually come out sometime in the morning, usually in around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, depends. Tuesdays are the Quilter episodes. They come out in around 9 o'clock on Tuesdays, give or take. Fridays is So Chatty with Walter. That usually doesn't come out until late afternoon. Not by my choice. I mean, I have to wait till he wakes up.
Well, yeah, and then I sometimes get busy.
Yeah, you get busy doing nothing. I had my coffee. I'll be down in 10 minutes. 2 hours later, he shows up. And on Sundays afternoons at 4 p.m., of course, is Stephen and Walter Live. So, yeah. That's the schedule. 3D printing. Someone asked, do 3D files cost you money? If yes, how much? Well, and I did answer this person in the notes, but I thought I'd put it out there generally, because a lot of people seem to be interested in 3D printing. But do the files cost money? No. You can get thousands of, they're called models, for nothing. The most popular source for those is something called Thingiverse, Thingy as in Thingi, verse, Verse. And that's where I get a lot of my stuff. There are other sites, though, that some are free on their sites, some you have to pay for if you want them. Usually ones that are very, very elaborate and have probably taken the creator of it many, many hours in an AutoCAD program to design them. Those ones can cost you, and some of them can be a little bit pricey. The average price is probably $5 or $6, but I have seen ones that are 20, 25, 30 and up for it, but those are very, very elaborate models as well. So yeah, if you get a 3D printer, you don't have to spend any money on models. You will have to spend it on filament, but even filament is fairly reasonable. You don't go through it that fast. It's surprising how little filament some of these models actually take to create the object. Now somebody's bringing up the ads on YouTube again. And this person said, what I hate is that at the end of YouTube videos, they sneak another ad that is hard to skip unless you stop the video before it ends. Yes, I have noticed that. That looks like a new trend. A little sneaky there. You're almost in the last, say, 45, 30 seconds of someone's video, and an ad comes up. That takes 30 seconds or more before you can skip it, if you can skip it at all. And then suddenly when you come back to the video, it's over. It was just about at the end. That is very tricky at what they're doing now. YouTube is getting very, very aggressive with the advertising. It's becoming a real major pain. And just as I've said before, don't blame the creators. We have no control over it whatsoever. So yeah. So those were some comments I thought I would. Oh, there was a couple of other ones. Yeah, last week's vlog was about what I called legitimate scams. And one person wrote, legitimate scams are real. Fortunately, New Brunswick is too small to have had to deal with this much. But you must remember when Ontario had to deal with door-to-door salespeople trying to switch customers to a different gas, utility, internet, cell phone company. I think they must have enacted laws against the most predatory practices by now. ? I certainly hope so. Well, I thought they put in place a law saying there couldn't be door-to-door solicitors.
No, that was just during the pandemic.
Oh, because they're back. I've had a couple in the last couple of weeks at the door. And there was a young man came to the door. He's wearing, an identification badge for the organization. It was CAMH. CAMH is a mental health foundation here in Ontario, maybe in Canada actually as well. I'm not sure if it's across the whole country. Anyways, it's a legitimate organization out there. And he basically was going on about what they do and everything and how they were trying to get into the schools now in the fall to educate young people about mental health. And of course, the bottom line is he wanted money. And right there, then he says, for a $20 donation, I can write you right now a tax receipt. Yeah, because it minimum to give to an organization to be able to put it on your taxes is $20. But you get nothing. You have to have like 20,000 before you see any results from that. And so I looked at them and I said, okay. I said, here's the situation. First of all, I know you're wearing the little badge that says CAMH, but those are easily reproduced. How do I know you're not scamming me for this? And I really don't. Now, I'm not said to him, I'm not saying that you're scamming. I'm just saying you've come to my door. You're asking for money. This day and age, you can't be too careful. Second of all, I said, thank you for the information about CAMH, but I'm not prepared at this moment in time to make a decision whether I wish to donate to that organization or not. So again, thank you for your information. Get off my step, drop dead, goodbye. No, I didn't say that part, but I thought it. But I don't like having solicitors come to my door about this. So the government should go back in and put that in again, because it's starting to increase again, the number that are coming. Next thing you know, we'll have the Jehovah's Witness. I have no problem.
I don't know if they're coming back to our house.
Well, no, we're marked as devil spawn, so yeah. And then there was one here about parenting. I'm sorry, but because I talked about kids, and you show me a bad kid, I'll show you bad parenting in a lot of cases, and we had that whole conversation last week. This person, I think, took offense to the fact. Oh no, and we were talking about having kids. And
yeah,
that was it. Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, yeah.
Yeah, and saying, like basically people shouldn't be shamed by other people or judged because they didn't have children for whatever reason they didn't have children and stuff like this. And but I'm sorry, but being a parent is hard. You can poo-poo it all you want, but a parent loves and feels responsible for children all their lives. I never once poo-pooed being a parent. That was not the point. This person misread what we were talking about. If you want to be a parent, that's your decision, your choice. If you don't want to be a parent, that's your decision, that's your choice. No one should judge you either way on that. I don't poo-poo parent. I know it's a hard job. The fact is, though, what I'm poo-pooing is the fact that there are many people out there now who are having children and are not taking their parenting responsibilities seriously. And that's why we're having trouble with young people, in my opinion. Okay? But I'm not poo-pooing parenting. I'm just poo-pooing really bad parenting out there, because there's a lot of that around too. So, and she said that I did answer her back, and I was a little bit sarcastic because she said what was it? The line? Oh, I'm sorry, but being a parent is hard. And I put in the comment, and whose fault is that? In other words, everybody can make a choice on what they want to do with their life and who they want to bring into this world as well. So, yeah.
Peace be among Pamela here. I know commercials on YouTube are not in your control, but just curious if financially you see an uptick in dollars.
No. In fact, I just saw, and I'm going to talk about it on my vlog this week. There's a real trend towards shorts now. I kind of like shorts as well, but they are automatically monetized. This guy shows you exactly how much money people can make off the shorts. It is, and he compares it to what you make on what he calls longs, which are longer videos, and neither one do you make anything on. If anything, the revenue you're generating from an ad now on YouTube is less than what we used to get, and we did not get much. For and views, it's not just on the number of views of your video, it's how long someone's interest, how long they stay on that video as well. There's an algorithm, and there's a lot of different parts and pieces. And basically, you can go in and see how much you're making at any given time on any given video, and it's pennies, literally pennies from it. So, yeah. So the more ads they put or the longer ads they put up, that does not translate into more money for the creator.
Yeah, like if you think he's making big bucks on that. It's not right.
No. Plus, YouTube takes... Where'd that go? I lost my coaster.
We'd be better spending all the time doing a part-time job.
Yeah, actually. Because YouTube also takes 30% in American income tax off of anything that I make each month. I average about $200 a month is what I make on my ads. The people who are really making the money are the ones that have like a million
Millions of
views
views,
and
yeah.
millions of subscribers, literally. And even they have got videos up now talking about why they're going to stop doing YouTube videos because they're not making the money. For them, it's a job. For them, it is their main source of income. They hire people to do professional editing of their videos, the whole bit. It's a business for them. Mine's not. It's a hobby. YouTubers, Russ says, make less when folks skip ads than if the whole ad is watched. Yes. But you're still not making fist over fist
Yeah,
of
you're
money.
not making like thousands of dollars.
No. And that's why you probably find some creators who are out to have Patreon, or they have like chat mode can be turned on, like where you can donate money to them. There's also something that's a join feature. It's kind of like a Patreon, except basically YouTube has jumped on the bandwagon for that one because they take a percentage of that. Like YouTube, the only ones that are making any money from the advertising is YouTube. Okay. It's not the creators. In fact, what they're doing is they're using the creators as the vehicle for transmitting advertising and stuff like that from it all. They've got a very interesting business model. Works for them. So nothing we can do about it as creators. We're tied to that. Okay, so we're over time today. Anyways, blabbed on, blabbed on. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Don't forget about Pop-Up Sew Day next Saturday, link in the show notes. And for those of you that want to do something in the middle of the week, Sewing with Stephanie and Steven, Wednesdays starting at 9 a.m. Come anytime you wish and leave anytime you wish as well. And the link for that is also in the show notes below. So hope everybody has a really great week, and we'll see you on the tubes, as they say. Bye all.
Bye.